Today on our 2009 Volkswagen Jetta, we'll be taking a look at and installing the Roadmaster Universal High-Powered Diode Wiring Kit, part number RM-152.
Go ahead and test out our taillights. Right turn signal. Left turn signal. Right brake. And left brake. First thing we're going to do on our vehicle is open up the hood. That way we can locate the battery and know where to run our wires. Now, our vehicle already has a base plate installed, so we'll go ahead and run our wires from our adapter point up behind the grille, and then we're going to make a pigtail up here in the engine compartment in case if they want to put in a supplemental braking system later. So we'll first go ahead and run our wires up into the top part of the grille from the bottom side of the grille, down here where the base plate's at. Then we'll go ahead and put a pole wire or fish wire, or just use the end of it if it's sturdy enough to push it up and through a hole in the engine compartment where we can pull it through. Leaving a little bit on the end to where we can make our connection to our 6-pin, 4-pin round, or whatever we decide to put on the end down here to connect to our RV pigtail. Now we'll go ahead and run it underneath the air box, right up next to the battery. That way we can make our pigtail for that supplemental braking system before we run it down to the back of the vehicle to the taillight assemblies. We'll go ahead and zip tie that off. And now we'll run our wires down to the bottom side of the vehicle and then back towards taillight assemblies. Now to pull our wires down from the top of the engine compartment down to the bottom side of the vehicle, we're going to use just a sturdy coat hanger to go straight up through the gap and opening right up above the control arm here. Now we'll just go back over the top of the drive axle and make sure that we're not going to hit any moving parts. Now go ahead and take that coat hanger that we had again. We'll go ahead and use it here to pull the wires through the plastic piece and out the back. You can also remove these fasteners on the bottom to pull down the panel if you so choose. And at this point, if you want to, you can zip tie it to those brake lines just to ensure that they don't go anywhere. We'll go ahead and pull our wires around by the heat shields, just so it stays protected from any kind of extreme heat from the exhaust. Then we're going to go ahead and drill a hole through the back of the spare tire compartment to run our wires in. We're going to do it this way, but there is other ways to do it, such as coming down and going into the bottom. But if you notice on the bottom of this spare tire, there's going to be a lot of abrasions from going through dips or scuffing up against a curb. And we don't want our wires to get damaged in any way. Drill where we have the X. And we're just going to drill a small pilot hole, and then we'll go in, pull out the spare tire, and go through that way. We'll finish drilling out our hole and then use a snap bushing, part number SWC 8057. Now we can go ahead and run our wire down and through our new snap bushing. Now we'll go ahead and use a boom clamp just to kind of tighten up our installation a little bit. You could always drill a hole and put a zip tie through the side of the heat shield if you wanted. Now we use a little bit of RTV or black silicone adhesive. This is going to be part number LT 37467. It's going to ensure that we have a nice watertight seal and then nothing's going to get in. Now we'll go ahead and stretch out our wire to the back of the vehicle and run it over the back end. This will give us room to put in our spare tire. Since it isn't going to be used very often, we won't need to really secure this wire down. Now go ahead and peel back the white wire before we put our spare tire back in and connect your ground. You can connect it here or at the front of the vehicle when we did the pigtail. Go ahead and strip it back and connect our ring terminal. We're going to go ahead and separate all of our wires now. We are going to remove this back panel just so we can push the wires up into the side and gain access to both the taillight assemblies. Go ahead and pop it straight up and pull it out. Here on the passenger side, there's going to be an access cover to get into the taillight assembly. You can see where you'll have all your wires located right here. We can go ahead and pass through our green and brown wire through this access hole. Now here on the driver's side, we'll turn the two knobs here for the access panel, lower it down, and then peel back the access cover. Run the wire up, just as we did on the other side. Now we'll go ahead and remove these 16mm nuts that are securing the taillight. This will give us a little bit more room to work, but it's not completely necessary since you do have access to the wires right here. Once we have the taillight out, we'll go ahead and disconnect it and pull it out of the way. All right, so our brake switch is going to be the purple and black wire here on the passenger side. Let's go ahead and check out what our turn signal is. That's going to be our green and black wire. So our brake and our running lights should be on the same circuit, which is going to be that purple and black one. Let's go ahead and test it one more time. Turn on our headlights. Now we're over here on our driver's side. We're going to repeat that same process. We'll start with our running lights. Off. So that's going to be that second one, which is going to be that red and black one. It'll be the same as the passenger side. We're just going to be running off the same circuit as the brake switch. And then we'll go ahead and test out the other one, which is going to be that black and white one for our turn signal for the left side. And it looks like that's it. Now we'll start with the diode that's going to be different from all the others. And that's going to be the one that has the yellow connector for your spade terminal on it. This one's going to be our jump wire that's going to go over to the driver's side, which is going to be that brake and tail light and that purple wire here to the brown wire coming up from our 4-pole wiring. So we'll go ahead and cut back our brown wire, and then we'll cut our purple wire about right in the middle of the gap that we got here. That brown wire that we just cut off, we're going to run it up and grab a hold of it just like we did on the other side. Now, our brown wires are going to be coming out, purple is going to be coming in, and then the single out to our factory tail light, which will be that purple. So let's go ahead and splice these two together. We'll go ahead and crimp it down and make sure it's nice and secure. Go ahead and plug it in. Now we'll connect our blue spade terminals to our remaining wires. Then we will connect them to our diodes as follows. Our purple one wire coming from our factory outlet is going to go into the out on the diode side, and on the inside we're going to have the green wire and the purple wire going into one diode. On the other side we're going to have two of the brown wires coming into the in, and then the red and gray wire. So we'll go ahead and plug that in. And then the red and gray on the opposite side coming out. Now with both of our terminals connected and diodes connected, we can peel off the double-sided tape on the back and stick them together. I'll go ahead and take some electrical tape and sure up all of our connections. It'll be good to make our connection now to our taillight assembly. Connect in the alignment tab to the hole there. Go ahead and thread on your nuts by hand. Once you have them started by hand, go ahead and tighten them down the rest of the way with a wrench. On the driver's side, the two wires that we're going to be using are going to be the two top ones here. The red one will be connecting to that left side, turn, and brake, which will be that red and black wire. And then the brown wire, which will be that tail light, will be attaching to the white wire with the black stripe here on top. We'll go ahead and strip back our two wires and connect our spade terminals. Now it doesn't matter which side you plug it into because both of them are coming in. It's not going to allow any kind of surge to come back into your vehicle's electrical system from the towing vehicle. Pull off the other connectors here and make those connections as well. Now from the factory side, we're going to plug in the part coming from the outlet or the plug going into the out section on the diode. Correspond those with the same colors you put in the other side. The tail light is going to be going to the white, or brake light, and turn signal are going to be going to that red one. And stick them together. I'll go ahead and take some electrical tape and sure up all of our connections. Now we can go ahead and reconnect our tail light assembly on the driver's side. Plug it in until it clicks. Line up the alignment tabs.
And that will do it for our review and installation of the Roadmaster Universal High Power Diode Wiring Kit, part number RM-152 on our 2009 Volkswagen Jetta.